Fine Rising, everyone. Me and Big Sis, we are back with another segment, and we're going to talk about word magic. So we're actually here having a conversation, and we're going to finish up our conversation because
Yeah,
we want
join on in.
join on in our conversation. So Sis, let's finish our conversation. We was talking about how we like our nails. But
Yeah,
the
I
main-
love my nails. I love my nails to be done.
I do too, Sis. But I was going to ask you as a nail tech because how long does
I'm
it
an
take?
everything tech.
How long does it take you to do your own nails?
Oh, it could take me all day
For
for this for no, so I never do two hands the same.
okay.
So I'll start with my right hand, and I usually make my right hand short, but that's going to be the basis of my theme. And I'll do that one color, I'll do them short, and I'll do them with different decorations. And then because I am right-handed, the shorter nails help me to be able to do what I need to do. But I like long nails. The problem is long nails on both hands. I'm not. You got to be very, very conscious and understanding
Yes.
what you're trying to do.
Yes.
You have these nails on, and I get it. They say people can wipe their butts, they can keep themselves clean, they can do all of that. But for me, the way I like to clean myself,
Yeah.
I need at least one hand to be free.
More accessible.
Yes.
Man, no.
Yes.
And then we don't drop a penny or something on the ground with them long nails.
So
Now,
what
for me,
people have to learn is that you got to use your fingertips. You got to start learning how to pick up things with your fingertips. Your nails are not for you to, they're not tools. They break. It's an appendage of your skin. So all it is hardened keratin that's in, that's, we're not going to get scientific. Come on. Y'all already know me. I'm a plethora of
it's a
information.
nice little jewelry.
But how we got to this conversation was we was talking about positive and negative planets, or masculine and feminine planets. Has nothing to do with your sexuality. It does have to do with a lot of your energy. And the female that has a lot of positive planets will come off more masculine.
If you got more feminine, energies, you'll be more feminine. Vice versa is for males too.
Yes, it did say that in the book that I'm reading. It said that. And so we were talking about, like, basically being, I would love to be more girly. I was kind of girly when I was younger. At least I dressed girly. Makeup, nails weren't. So when I was younger, nails were not as prominent as they are now.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like they say, you could have got a full set of nails for $25. 50 was pushing it because that was something extravagant. But now nails are all over the place.
They are, and it also depends on what design you want, because they will charge you for the design. If you don't know,
as they should. I feel like a lot of people don't know that product. Yes, I get it. There's you can go to other countries and get cheaper product, but that product here for licensed Americans, if they're using the type of products that you see on TikTok, it's not cheap. On top of the time, on top of people that can't pull themselves away. And this is why I don't really do nails for other people, because they can't seem to pull themselves away from their phone. And I don't have the patience to be trying to lay expensive acrylic on your nails while you sitting there, got your head all in the phone. And no, because I seen on Facebook today, I seen a video where the guy was like, had his hands all up there, and she was like, he's on the phone, and she was like, excuse me, the nail tech's trying to get, and he was like, hold on. Oh no.
You had to get up out my seat.
No, because by the time I said something, my patience have already wore thin.
You're done.
I would have just, when he would have said, hold on, I would have just got the clippers out and started cutting them off and said, you got it. You can go somewhere else and get this done. I don't.
Pay for what's on your hand for right there.
But see, what he said afterwards was the reason why, because he was like, let me get off this phone before I punch this out.
Oh no.
Clip.
Oh no.
Clip. I would just cut them all off and say, you know what, sweetheart, I'm not your nail tech.
I got your one right here.
So yeah, nails, when I went to school a couple times for nails because I went to different types of things. But anyways, as we digress off of our conversation onto what this topic is today.
Yes.
We are talking about the energy of words and how words can definitely, not can, not can, let's not say can. They do. They will. They will impact your life at some way, shape, or form. The thing is that we're so used to speaking quickly, fast, and in the moment that we don't think about the words that we're using that's going to affect our future. And because words and language is not as old as we think it is, and we think that somebody made up a lot of these things, when you start to think all the way back to when the first humans, I'm not going to say the first man and woman, we're going to just say the first humans were here on Earth, language wasn't first given to them. So how did they communicate? Where did these different symbols come from for us to bring up sounds, symbols, and give them names for these words? I get it. You know, you got these words that we know as words now. Where did they come from? And we know that there is a specific language and everything comes off of that. But in the American language, our words come from a lot of different backgrounds. So when I speak about somebody who was very intellectual when it comes to words, first person for me that comes to mind is Malcolm X.
Oh, yes. Very. It was crisp and clean with it.
He was smart enough to take words, find out their origination, learn these words, and then use them to his advantage, as well as for the advantage of the society he was pushing for at the time.
Since you say that, I had seen a clip of his biopic, and they showed a clip of where he was giving like a big dictionary, and they say, look this word up, research this word. He had like a mentor telling him, you need to look at the words that you're saying.
Yes.
Look at the energy.
So he started doing that when he got into prison and hooked up with the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And people come into our lives for the seasons.
That's true.
Okay. And this does tie in. People come into our lives for seasons, and we want to hold on to them for eternity. We have to realize that they're not meant for eternity, they're for seasons. And that person in his life came into his life to give him a portion of the season that he was supposed to rise up.
Yep.
I really just don't understand why we don't give him more commemoration, because he did apologize for some of the things that was said. He did realize after a while his negative play and what was going on. But the fact of the matter is that if we take all of that away, push it to the side, and understand what he was doing and who he did as a people, his wisdom and knowledge is what kept him, you know, at an area where he was. And if words are our enlightenment, but can be our downfall, why would we not learn to speak more slow, think more about what it is we're saying before we say it, and actually understand what it's going to do to us in our future? Okay. So with word energy, we have the chart. Were you able to get that up?
No, I was not able to get it on the screen. However,
I have it right here.
He has it in the book, and it's well, in the numerology, it's called a Pythagorean chart. That is what I was going to put on the screen. You can also Google that as well. But those are the charts that I use to decode my first name or your last name, like we was talking about yesterday. And you can find your expression there, your motivation, your personality, just doing all of that. There's so much that you can use with this chart to find about yourself. So we're about to do some of that with some of these words. So let's get it.
So when we say speak positivity, it's not just the word that you're speaking, it's the vibration you're giving off. A lie is not always a lie if you're telling the truth about something that you're acquiring. So a lot of people, when they say they speak lack in their life, is because they're speaking on basically what they know right now. Okay. And all of us was raised to tell the truth. So if your
Yeah.
bank account says little to nothing, you might say that you have little to nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the way that we say it usually keeps us in that understood area at the time. But if we were to speak more present tense, it's not for me right now, or
Yeah, I do that.
it's not my time right now.
I'll say it's not in divine timing, but
Yep, or
not right now.
I'll get it when it's right,
When it's
a right
right.
time. You know, those types of things, because I am is two words that ignite, although we've already been through the season of I am, but I am.
The moment you say that, it's
Yes, anything that comes after I am should not be anything that's spoken in a negative, even if you're being funny, because the universe doesn't understand a sense of humor. It doesn't understand. That's why we're here, because the universe wanted to experience itself and understand sense of humor and understand, love, and understand all these things, because it's very just neutral. But when you go and you say some of this stuff, you have to understand that the energy of these words is going to play effect in your future. So we should talk less.
Silence.
Understand more. If your head ain't always in the book trying to figure out what's going on around you or how you can elevate the person next to you, then maybe your mind is in the wrong place.
No shade.
So we showed you this book yesterday, The Energy of Words. And sis is going to go through demonstrating some of like how you get your life path number, how you get your there's a whole bunch of other ones too. There's your life path. There's
a life path.
What was I reading with all of that in it? I was reading some book.
Do you have a numerology book?
Man, do I have it, a lot of books. I'm just trying to remember on what concept. Oh, go for it. I got it.
Okay. So with your Pythagorean chart, I'm gonna draw this out while we do this, and I'm going to talk while I do this. And I think you should do this too. Get in the practice of making the chart yourself. What you're gonna do, gonna make a chart, numbers 1 through 9. And then you're going to take each alphabet and place them under the number. So they each should have an assigned number, okay? I'm going to use my own name when I do this as well. So I'm filling in. Nope. Let me see, A, B, C, D, E.
While she's drawing this out, also know that because I did put that picture up there, you can screenshot it from there and use it that way.
There we go. No, I'm going too fast. Slow it down. Give me that chart, sis. Look at that again.
Yes, right.
Here we go. So let me just do it like this. Okay, I'm gonna write out my name. You follow along with me, all right? Write out my name. I'm gonna start with my first name. I'm going to write every number under the name that it corresponds with, guys. So that's what I'm doing here. And then after you do that, you're going to calculate your whole name. After that.
Which one are you getting on this one?
This one is the first name, sis.
No. What's the goal for this one?
I want to show them how to find their life path number.
That's what your birth date. Or you did it this way?
I did it this way too.
Oh, okay.
I did it this way too. Let me see. Q. But I know my life path number already. So once you get that, add it all up, you have your number. Now, it'll tell you in the book the energies of that number. Now, my name is a 7. My full name is a 7. And like sis was saying in her book, the 7s are very intuitive. They're into the spiritual. And a lot of people say 7 is completion. It's the God number. Now, like sis said, you can also do your birthday as well. Because in this book that I showed you yesterday with Lloyd Stipehorn, he shows you many ways of doing it. So write your birthday out completely. That means my birthday is February 11, 1990. So I'm going to put 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 like that. Add it all up, and then you also can get your life path number that way
Yeah,
as
just put a
well.
plus sign in between each number
Yes.
from the month, the day, the year, and if you want to, you can use the two numbers for the month, which is always going to be a 0 if it's not a double number. You'll add that up. If you come up with the number 11, 22, or 33, those are master numbers, compound numbers, or
Double
those
number.
are extremely heavy numbers.
Very much.
So if you get those, you don't want to add those two numbers together, but all other double numbers as a sum, you'll add them up. You'll get the single digit number unless it's 11, 22, 33. And that's going to be your life path number. I've always known life path numbers as being adding your birth date together. I've never done the name for that. There is another way that you can use it, and there is your destiny number.
Yes.
And
now that the destiny number, that's a little bit different from the life path number. I used to think it was the same. Like the same. But while sis is looking that up, I talked about the EMP. The EMP, this is what you can find in your full name. And so I'm gonna break it down. So your expression is your natural talents, skills, and abilities, regardless of how much education you have. You don't have to have professional education. You could be a natural person that knows how to do this. You find this by the sum total of your name. Your motivation represents your likes and dislikes, deeper desires, your deeper inner desires, needs, and wants. You find this from the sum total of the vowels in your name. The personality represents the first impression that you're likely to make people. Like, so the first impression you make on people, and you find that the total sum of the constants in your name. So you don't use the vowels. Once you add the vowels, add the leftover letters, and you can
the
find
consonants.
Yeah. So that's how you find that.
For the destiny number, you're going to calculate your birth name. So take your birth name, break it up, find the alphabets that line up the number, and go ahead and add your birth name up. Allocate every letter of the name to a number as showcased in your chart below. Sum the digits allocated to every name. Lastly, sum the individual destiny number to get the sole digit and will be your concluding destiny number. So what sis was doing in the beginning, that's your destiny number. And then your life path number is using your birth date. You can also take your first name and add up those numbers and get an expression of who you are. Yeah, so there are different ways to be able to use this in your life, and it's also good to be able to understand the positives and the negatives of a word.
Shay. We got an example for words?
Yes, I do. I'm going to go in.
Oh, I like how they have the examples. I didn't see that.
So yeah, this book gives you the examples of numbers, the numbers.
Is that, oh, it say totally. I thought it said totality.
Okay, let's go with this word. This is number 3 where it's sensational. The meaning sensational vibrates to the 3. The intellectual number of imagination, memory, and inspiration. The 3 also represents unity or coming together. To be sensual is to be amazing or astounding. Thanks to the imaginative, inspirational, and positive 3 energy, you were sensational. A true star in the making. In the negative, the vain, grandiose side of the 3 turns sensational into needing to be the center of attention and being overly concerned with the views of others. I've just got to be sensational tonight and knock their socks off. and I'll be the I'll be the laughing stock of the team.
You know what that reminds me of? I don't know if you've seen that GIF of Future. He's like sensational. That's what that
Which one
reminded
is
me
it?
of. This Future. He got a video where he's just laughing
Oh
sensational.
no, I'm so detached from that. Some of that stuff.
It's so funny though when you said that. That was the first thing that come to mind.
Positive is analytical, intelligent, humorous, social, sensitive, observant, unity, and inspirational. The negative is critical, vain, grandeur, self-doubting, self-critical, over-analyzing, and indecisive. So you get to see that there are, and I just picked three because that seemed like a very good word to start out with. You get to see that there is positives to different words. Let's do this one because this is one that the community is always talking about. Healed. It's a number 8 word.
Okay, that's a nice word.
Healed vibrates to the number 8. And the 8 is of wisdom, independence, confidence, and manifestation. As the most active soul plane number, 8 has a direct link to the spiritual realm, creating a sense of wholeness and completeness in the positive. The manifesting and doubtless powers of the 8 are tapped, created deep, lasting healing. In the negative, an external or superficial search for sources of healing is attempted, but no external avenues can produce the same depth of healing that occurs when healing takes place on the soul level. Your positive words for this is wise, confident, assertive, independent, manifesting, assured, and loving. The negative ones is detached, selfish, greedy, dominating, bossy, and attention seeking. So when you're using certain words, it's good to understand, one, we do know what the word means to us, but do we know the dark and the light side of words? Okay, there is a dark side and a light side to words. Detached. Am I detached from certain things? Yes. Is it a negative for me? No.
Quit. Okay, so sis, when we talk about the energies of words, because this is a thought.
Okay.
We was talking about it earlier. What was saying? How you deliver it, does that matter? And the positive and negative of the words, the delivery, the emotion, the feeling
It's the intent. But
Yeah.
a lot of times we speak without finding our intention first. Frivolous speaking is called frivolous speaking, and we do it a lot. All of us do
Diarrhea in
it
the
a
mouth.
lot. Well, yes and no, because people who, so you have to understand when people say something to shock you, it could be in their character. And that's who they are. They're saying things to shock a person. And that could be a positive or a negative thing. It all depends on, one, it's not how the person receives it. So the person that you're speaking to is not about how they receive it. It's about you as the individual, how you intended it to be and how it made you feel. And a lot of times, because we don't understand what it feels like to have resistance on the inside, because we aren't well connected with our inner selves and understanding resistance and butterflies and all of this stuff, we automatically think that sometimes this is good, but resistance is never good. But you, as the individual, have to figure what that feels like to you, because resistance may feel different to you than it does to me.
Okay.
Just like butterflies in the stomach, some people like to meet somebody who gives them butterflies in their stomach.
It depends for me.
For me,
it's the I have to have an interaction that intellectually I'm like, okay, I like this person, but
for me, butterflies tell me that it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because like I shouldn't, in our first encounter, I want to be drawn to you, but it shouldn't be in a fact where I'm getting these butterflies, because butterflies make you feel some type of way. And it's, for some people, they think that's good, that's this, that's that, that's the other. But in my understanding of me, when I get butterflies, it's only because I'm intrigued with you at that moment. I need to see what it looks like when the butterflies are gone. So we all have to learn to read our body's interpretation of different words instead of them just being words we put on the paper, learn to spell and got some very limited definition. We need to understand what it is that we are putting out there, because prayer, spell, all of that goes into words. And whether you're praying or casting spells, whether you know it or not, you're casting spells.
That's why I call it spelling.
So with that, the vibration behind the word is what you want to understand, the positive and the negative. It's a flip of the coin. That's why yesterday when we were talking about people who demons and this and that and other, there is a dark side and a light side to both things.
Aspects, yes.
And you need to know the positive and the negative, because when you're always focused on the positive, then when the negative comes around, you fall apart.
Yeah, you're not gonna know how to handle it.
Yes.
You haven't allowed yourself to experience it.
Yes.
You actually, that I feel you need that for growth.
Oh, yes.
You definitely need that for growth.
So something my daughter asked me about was, she said, I don't understand why we came here for torment and to be basically tortured. You see what I'm saying? And I told her, I said, on the contrary, that's exactly why we came here. If everything is going flatline in your life, what are you learning?
Nothing.
Right. If everything is going really easy in your life, like going straight up, what are you learning?
Nothing.
Okay. The minute everything was going easy and it fell apart, that's the minute you was learning. But when we went to school, we were always taught that A's were great and F's were bad.
Yes.
Okay.
With that, even with that, people learn at their own pace. But that's neither here nor there. Go ahead, sis.
So what it's about is, say you tried your hardest. You was the student that tried your hardest, but you were still failing. Why am I failing? If I'm trying to give this everything I've got, and the teacher is telling me to do this, and this,
not probably
why am I failing?
For you to
I'm gonna tell you why you're failing.
It's not your tool.
It's not. It's because you still have to put in a little bit more work to understand how to do it. Okay. Once you put in the work on understanding how to do what it is, you start to excel.
Yeah.
That's showing us from kindergarten to 12th grade. Okay. If you're the person that's not trying and not doing the work and you're failing, you obviously know why. So we don't have to make excuses for you. But that failing part is the part where, and I had one teacher in my whole lifetime tell me this. This is where you're learning.
Okay.
You didn't just come in here. She said, you've been doing really good up to this point and you failed. You failed because you don't already know this information.
Okay.
First time you picked up a book to read and your mom's or teacher or whoever started teaching you to read, was it easy?
No.
Did you like it?
No.
Did it give you a struggle?
Yes.
Did you want to cry?
Not everybody, but sometimes.
Okay. But now look at it that way. You didn't know what you was doing
at all.
And you had to grasp the concept of why you had to do it.
Yeah.
And then
when you did
exactly, when you did it and you did it often, it got easier.
Most definitely. That's what I tell my daughter. You got to keep practicing. It's okay. Because she was like, Mommy, I'm scared of math. I said, fuck math. Excuse my language. But I told her that. I was like, math ain't going to scare us. We're going to practice our math. Because you can do it, baby. What it is, though, I do feel these schools are putting a little too much pressure on these kids. They're only young. Not every child is going to learn at the same level.
What grade is your daughter in?
3rd.
She writing in cursive yet?
They don't do that no more.
So
they don't teach that no more.
They do in some schools.
Not this one.
But what I'm going to say is that, and I feel different. I feel like they're not giving them enough. And the reason why is because up until the age of 7, we will grasp anything. That's how wide open and connected we are to the universe. And if we wait until after the age of 7 to start dumping stuff on them, they haven't learned enough. So when you look over in the East and you see these kids who are relishing, it's because their parents, from the time the woman was pregnant, had already started conditioning that child into an understanding. When you're pregnant, What you speak on your child is what you will get out.
Yes, yes, that's true.
The understanding that you have during that time, it might be your child's. Pay very close attention. But when I say we're very energetic from the ages to 0 to 7, teach your kids as much as you can, because they're going to pick up on it. By the time they're 7, they've already grasped the concept of it. And then at that point, they can only excel.
True.
We do it differently here. But by the time I was in the 3rd grade, we had to write in cursive every day, all day.
We did.
You couldn't write. And then they started midway through 3rd grade, you got pens, no more pencils.
Yeah. I'm gonna still say this. I do still feel every child's learning level is different.
It is.
And no child should be taught exactly the same.
No, they should not.
That's my whole point.
They should not. I'm not saying they should, but right now, why they are, it's our job to excel our kids to that point that they want to get to. Now, are they going to excel in everything? No. And I'm going to say that at the beginning, they're not going to be any better than their parents if their parents don't educate themselves. True. So educated parents have educated kids because they educate their kids like they were educated. But what my point about this is that it wasn't easy for you to be able to start reading in the beginning.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't easy for you to start reading in the beginning, the more you did it, the easier it got. I didn't realize this until I had gotten older and started actually reading and started to learn that not only does your vocabulary expand, it gets larger, and you have a larger group of words that you can use. Mm-hmm. But it also makes you able to be able to, now this is where it gets tricky, because you have people who have, degrees, masters, doctorates, and they want to use these fabulously long words.
Yeah.
And when I went into Islam, I learned that anybody can use sentence long words. Can you break that word all the way down so that the youngest person in the room can understand?
We was talking about that once. You remember I was telling you about that the YouTuber uses these big words, very intelligent and stuff like that. He also mentioned, though, if you don't know the word, go look it up. I get it, though. I get it, and that's his platform and stuff like that. But my thing is, you really want to reach the masses, like Sis said, you got to be able to be diverse.
So I'm gonna say what an intellect would do, if they're an intellect, is that I would tell my kids to go look it up, because I want them to be able to figure out how to do all of that, because that's how I was raised.
Yep.
But an intellect would tell you that like neuroplasticity, I like to use that word a lot. Neuroplasticity is the changing of the mind, or the molecular makeup of the brain switching itself into another position so that you've literally changed your mind. And that's what happens. The pathways in the brain actually change, and neuroplasticity takes place. Once neuroplasticity takes place in the brain is actually moved. Sometimes you can feel it.
Is that why you get those little
tingles, or the brain? You can actually feel it. So when it comes to words, be very conscious. We should be being conscious anyways, right? Because that's what this is, conscious talk. Be conscious of what it is that you're saying. If you want more of something and you ask for more of something, you have to be ready for the positive and the negative. If it's new and you ask for it, you've never asked for it before, sometimes you have to know that you're going to get the negative in order to understand the positive. So it's hard to start something in the beginning because you need to learn. Once you learn how to do it, that's wisdom and knowledge that nobody can ever take away from you.
Of course not.
Okay. That's like people who have built businesses. It doesn't matter how many times that business failed, could have failed 3 times. That's 3 times the understanding that they have, as long as they didn't sit and dwell in the misunderstanding of it, and they know that this is a time for us to learn. I've learned something. Now when I go to stand this business stuff, it won't fail.
That's just like me and my plants. You know what I'm saying? I'm having to start over every time I fuck up. I'm like, okay, well, I fucked up here. I won't do that next time. So let me do this next time. And the next time is a little bit better. And then I fuck up again. I was like, well, that worked first time. This right here didn't work. Let me not do that again. So yes.
I've been there.
Yes.
I got a lot of plants that's in the grave. But
Yes.
now I got a lot of plants that I got in my house. Some of them don't look so great, but that's me learning that plant and understanding what it needs. For me, it was just water. I thought I was supposed to water these things every day, water the plants.
I drowned the fuck out
Water
of
the plant. You know, water your plants every day. Each one of them needs different types of watering. But once you learn these things, then you have to be a beginner in order to be an intermediate. Okay. And then from the intermediate, then you can excel. But you have to go through those. And most people don't want to go through the hard stuff. They want it to be easy. Please believe. I used to tell myself, why does got to be so hard? This should be easy. I should already know how to do this.
But like we said before, you got to crawl before you can walk.
You have to roll. You have to rock. Because babies don't just crawl. They got to get into the position so they can crawl. But they teach themselves all of that. They do all of that on their own. So at that point, if a baby can teach themselves to roll over, crawl, walk, and then run, why are we not teaching ourselves how to manipulate, maneuver, and change our lives?
Well, we don't want to do something that we know, like, oh man, this is new, this is gonna be tough. Do it more. Do it more. It may benefit you, especially with everything that's going on now. Get out there and learn how to grow your own food. Get out there and start reading books with your kids. Because I'm gonna say this right now, I'm already preparing to just have my kid here so that I can teach her. It's my responsibility in the first place. Me and her dad. Of course, it takes a village to raise a kid, but as her mother, I'm making sure that I do my part as her mother and stuff like that. But yes, get out there and teach yourself these things. It's gonna be hard at first.
Complicated.
Very much so. And y'all gonna see me with a backyard full of plants in a few months. I just want you to know. Yes, baby, that's a challenge for me right now, but I've already succeeded because I see it already. That's how I'm able to also motivate myself to continue to push myself, because I tell myself, I already see that I've done this. I just have to see how I got there, and how I got there required me to make those mistakes so that I can get where I see myself in that vision.
So in the conscious understanding of the words, pick up a book, go through that book, read that book. And I don't want it to be just something you pick up. Honestly, I would love for you all to start to indulge in reading more, listen more, speak less, and start to recognize what you're hearing other people say. What words, like your significant other, if you have one, what are their words that they are unconsciously using all the time? Is it putting light in their life, or is it putting more negative in their life? And how can you pick a more positive word to use in order to help them push themselves forward? It's a few words that I do know that cuts your lifeline off right away, and that's can't. Excuse me. Can't will stop it, everything. Because if you've already mentally seen it and you told yourself you can't do it, it's one, because you don't want to, or one, you feel like you've already exalted yourself, or exhilarated yourself when it comes to that. So can't stops you from ever being able to can. Okay. Broke. With the words I am in front of them.
Oh,
you don't want to say that, because that puts more of that in your future. Need. If you're asking for something in need, you got to wait till you don't need it to ask for it. Okay. Because when you need it, and you're asking for it in the wrong light. So these are some words that you can listen for in your friends' lives don't really correct them, but take mental note and then go back to your chart, find out what they mean, what number they vibrate with, and then find the positives and the negatives to them, which will consciously start to help you. Once your life starts doing what you want it to do, whether if you have a lot of materialistic friends, this might not be the best situation for you to prove to them, because money hungry, material people, that's all they want to see. Your life won't be worth nothing to them if you don't have that BMW, Mercedes, or that car that's $150,000 in the driveway and a house that's overly a mansion. Now, that's not to say that some people don't have cars that are over $150,000 living in something that's like a shack, okay? But what that means is that you can see when your friends are very materialistic. If you're materialistic, then ask for materials. If you want to break away from being in the material trap that society has us in, learn to live without some of those materials, because we don't need them. And plus, think of it this way: when it's time for us to exit this earth, wisdom and knowledge you take with you, the positive wisdom and knowledge. The experiences you get to take with you, okay? The material things, you got to figure out who you're going to give that to. So if it's something that you have to give away when you leave this planet, think twice about it before you spend X amount of money on it, unless it's for you to live comfortable enough.
Ashe, sis.
Okay.
I was going to ask you, when you said the need part, in case others might not understand, could you like give an example of how to not be in that state of mind or whatnot?
We'll use money as an
example.
Yeah, as an example.
Because
if you got a bill that's got to be paid tomorrow and you need money today, you're asking for need and a lack, because you need it, and you need it before a certain time. And because time, space, reality is something that man concocted from the universe, and the understanding of it was given to us, and this is something we need to understand, is that what's here is supposed to be here until we get rid of it.
Yes, that's true.
So man was given the understanding of time, and time, space, reality is not really something that the universe understands. If you're asking for something in need, then you're lacking it. And because you're lacking it, the energy that you're giving out is lack, not bringing.
It's not going to come fast.
No, it's not. You're pushing it away.
Down.
You're pushing it away.
Yes.
Instead of bringing it to you. We ask for things when we need them instead of asking for them when we don't. Okay. So if I look in my refrigerator and I don't have food in my refrigerator, but I don't have 2 pennies to rub together to go get that food, and you're asking for food, if you can get yourself to understand that the food is already there in that refrigerator, and that you're not in a lack of food, that there is food there, say it's just not visible to you right now, because everything that we want is right here in front of us. We just can't see it. Why? Because we need to create it.
Say that one more time, sis. I don't think they heard you.
We need to create it. We're the creators of our lives. Come on. We are the creators of your lives.
Generator, operator, destroyer.
That's why tarot brings in understanding, because knowing what the fool is not the person that is misled. The fool is not the person that isn't in their correct mind. The fool is somebody who's saying, I need something to change, and I'm willing to jump off this ledge to see if something's going to change. But I tell people, when you're going to jump off that ledge, make sure you know how to catch yourself.
Ashe.
Okay.
Ashe.
But if you need food and you look in the refrigerator and you see the lack thereof, go sit on your couch and see the excess of it in your mind. Play it out that way. Meditate on it. There is an abundance of food in my refrigerator. There's abundance of food in my refrigerator. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit and see how that will feel to me without thinking of there not being it. Programming your mind to believe that it's there. And then see, I can't tell you if you're going to get it or if you're not going to get it. I'm not psychic like that. But what I will say is that what you will see is that in the future, I'm not saying in the here now because nothing is really like that.
Broken Luther Vandross. I hear it now.
But what it will do is in your short-term future, your refrigerator will have food in it.
And I would say, y'all, like she said, we are the creators. Use your resources that are around you in your community. Don't feel like you're not too good to visit a food pantry. If you know if something you really need, there's your answer right there. Right there. So it's a lot of them around here where I am. So I would say look up at your local communities and see if there are pantries around, make it happen that way.
There are pantries
Everywhere.
There's yards. There's seeds. So for every complaint that anybody has, there is a solution. And if you utilize the tools and the way that we're sitting here telling you, because we wouldn't be telling you if it wasn't something that we had to go through in our lives. Mm-hmm. We haven't told our life stories. I don't think it's even important for you to know. The most important thing is that we're sharing this with you and with ourselves on different accounts because this is something that we've used.
Yes. And sometimes I still do. Yes.
Do we still speak frivolously sometimes? Yes, we do.
Yep. And I balance that out with something positive as well, though.
I just catch myself and tell
myself, and I'll be like, okay, well, let me just balance that out.
I catch myself and tell myself, not to do that, so don't do it no more. And let's keep moving. It must have been, if it slipped out, it must have been for it to come out, and it must have been for me to track my mind onto it. So instead of saying, I shouldn't have used that word, I don't do that. I just be like, okay.
You gotta warn
not really, yeah, because I don't really do that much. I just tell myself that it must have been a reason for that to come out. I'm conscious and cognizant of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and push forward and
put that on nice.
Yeah, and we're just gonna keep an understanding of, okay, where is this gonna pop up again? And I'm saying that because I have spoken a lot of things on my life.
I have to, and I learned my lesson.
I did. I learned my lesson. I really did. I learned my lesson.
Go for it. I'm gonna share one story. I knew how powerful my words were, but at this time I was being very, very petty. This was some time ago, guys. I was on the phone with somebody, and I was like, I just want to kill myself. And the universe said, "Oh, you do? Okay, I'll make sure you let that happen." On my way home from work, a car almost hit me. I was like, "Oh, let me not talk like that no more." And I don't say stuff like that. And I would hear people say that, "Oh, I wish I could die. I was like, stop saying that."
They might really feel that way, though.
Oh, they could be. They could. Just know when you do that, your words are very powerful.
Just be prepared to go there. You have unfinished business here. You'll go there and you'll come back.
Now, sis, do you have a story you want to share?
I don't really have a lot of stories that I like to share. Just know that I have spoken things on my life. And I'm not only am I seeing them now, I've seen them before. And I try to be more understanding of what I'm saying. But at the same time, even though I seem controlled and very, whatever, I like to let my life just flow.
Like what?
So if it comes out and I said it, there has to be a reason for me saying it. If I'm always sitting in here saying, don't say that word, don't say that word, I have one word that I don't like to use for myself, and that's can't, because I feel like I can do anything. I feel like I can live anywhere. I feel like I need to teach myself some things or learn some things, but I don't feel like I'm in a point where I can't. So I've stopped. And I used to be very judgmental on myself. But as I start to look out and I look around me, I don't see nobody that's better or worse than I am. Yeah. So I could care less what people think.
Yeah, that's true, sis. They put on their pants one leg at a time.
I like to pay more attention to my life than I do other people's lives because I was taught to be in other people's lives. Okay, that's how I was raised up.
Gotcha.
And judging other people's lives brought their lives into my life, and I wasn't ready for it. So I really just leave. If I go into my past, I walk into my past to find the pearls and the diamonds that's going to lead me to the key, and then I'm going to move forward.
I don't think a lot of people realize that, though, sis. When you delve in people's business, their business become your business.
Well, it doesn't look the same. So think about it like this. When you ask for something, you have a distinct vision on how it's supposed to come to you, right? If it's not delivered to you in that manner, you might forsake the gift as something you don't want. We've done this a lot as humans, okay? We don't realize that this was what we asked for. Remember, there's the positive and the negative. And if it comes to you and the light side of you seen it coming to you all wrapped up in beautiful gift wrapping and a bow, and it comes to you and the person hands it to you in a plastic bag, you might not even look in the bag and just toss it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of looking in the bag and saying, this is exactly what I asked for, this is the gift I asked for, but it didn't show up. And what they say, they call it looking a gift horse in the mouth.
I ain't never heard that before.
Really?
Say that again.
Looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Oh, okay. That's
the horse delivered the gift, but it wasn't delivered the way you wanted it, so you shunned it away.
Yeah.
We do that a lot.
This lady in the podcast was saying that she was meditating and she was looking for her spirit guide. And she seen like this naked Indian. He was like, hey, come on. And she was like, no, I'm going with you. And he's like, hey, come on. And she said, I'm not going with you. So she was talking about it. And the guy she was talking to was telling her, what if that was your spirit guide?
Yes.
She's like, no, he looks like this and this.
No, your guides are going to come to you in a form in which you should have understood. It's just like when people say if Jesus was to come back, they would be all over him. What if Jesus did come back and he don't look nothing like you expected him to look?
That right there, you said it. You said it.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How do you not know that Jesus wasn't the old Black lady that was standing there at the Walmart that was toothless who needed help? And you looked at her and you judged her and you walked past her.
Can't judge them. They be in disguise.
So, not trying to get off subject, but I do need to go back to the rapture situation, okay?
It's gonna do that. I knew he was gonna do that because I was thinking about it because I was like, man, how do y'all know Jesus was a person?
I'm sorry. I am so sorry, but I came to an understanding last night that could have been me.
We were talking about it on here because we was like, oh,
that could have been me.
But we made.
But I was not scared to go look in another book. I was not scared to say that if my mom raised me to believe that whatever they wanted to keep from a Black man, they put between the pages of a book, I'm going to find every book that you done wrote.
Come on now.
Okay. Because I want to know what you know and I want to know what I know. I get to decipher the difference.
Yes.
We already know what's good and bad. You don't need nobody to tell you what's good and bad. But if the experience is something that you want to experience, you're going to go through it. So in order, and this is my thing, because we still don't know if that book is right. All we know is those people were misled.
Yes. Yes.
So before you go trying to denote something, make sure you understand what that means.
Yes.
It means that somebody put out some information, which we do to you. And instead of you just taking our word for it, you go research it. I've already told you what book to look in. Sis has already given you books to look in. We've given you some understanding based off of our knowledge and our teachings and who we are. But what we are encouraging you to do is go do it for yourself. Go dig deep in that book. Go read that book. Go understand that book for who you are. Because my planetary placements give me one understanding, but your planetary placements are going to give you something totally different.
Yep. Yep.
And if you let us sit up here and tell you that this, and this is this, and this, and you run with that, then that's on you. That's not on me. Like the person who stood up there and told them that the 23rd and the 24th was going to be the day that this was going to happen. And they did exactly what they thought they were supposed to do. But I think the person that was standing up there telling them the 23rd was going to be the day this was going to happen, they was hoping that their congregation turned around and disposed all their stuff onto them. I'm going to give you my money. But how could they do that if we're all standing in one building and the day of reckoning or rapture is happening? We all expect to go. Now, you had 2 days.
Oh my God.
You had 2 days for your intuition to kick in, to tell you that, hey, that don't sound right. Hey, that don't sound right.
I'm telling you.
Hey, that don't sound right.
Like, since my like I don't wanna walk in their shoes. But my thing is, once you realize you ain't going nowhere, what was your next thought?
Well, see, this is the problem is that a lot of these people gave away all their stuff.
Yeah, I saw.
You see what I'm saying? They was giving away stuff.
Yeah.
But my thing is that you had 2 days and your intuition should have kicked in. But because you have not accessed spirit in your book, 1, and 2,
keep looking outside yourself.
that you not only looking outside yourself, you look to another person.
You're letting them drive your spaceship.
And you let them give you information that had you to went and researched, you would have been able to find that there is no specific date. And all the signs, it says there's going to be signs that will show us that date, and there's going to be more. None of us know what the day is going to look like.
You said nor the time or the hour, right?
Right. There's only one entity, not mankind, because Jesus was Jesus. Jesus is not God, nor did he ever tell you he was God. He said the temple was within. He said, our Father, not me, the Father. He said, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So not once. And if you follow the red words in your book, that's the words of Jesus, which is all about this much. It's not even a whole book like that. He never said in the beginning. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Why would a religious book start with in the beginning? Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
You see what I'm saying? When we understand our words and we understand what our words are saying to us, King James went in and distorted those words by making them beautifully misunderstood.
And we was talking about how he used the Shakespearean.
He did.
Yeah.
He used beautiful, pretty words. But that was the time in which he was in. But this book was manipulated from way before. Take the time to find the intellect within yourself and research these things. That's why I told sis, we don't need to give them too much information. I don't want to give you all the information. What I want to do is I want to open the door. I want to crack it for you.
Spark that.
And if you really want to, you'll walk through it on your own. I'm just here to lead you to it. You got to be the one to want to do it. Lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink.
Exactly.
So it shows you how misled people are by taking the words of other people and holding on to it as gold. It's not. Go do your research. Don't be afraid to ask, even if it's your pastor. Where'd you get that information from? Where can I find that exact date in this book? Make them stutter, make them swallow their words so that you don't be misled behind them. We should do this for everybody.
Yes.
Anybody who wants to stand up in front of people and say, I give you this, and this is what's going to happen before you lose everything and have to rebuild, because I believe those people who lost were supposed to lose to rebuild. And they also learned a very good lesson. Listen to yourself.
I don't even know if they did, sis.
Well, you didn't go read your book. You didn't go read that, because I'm not even Christian, and I knew what the book said.
It's a lot of non-Christians who know the book says.
And I tell people, don't speak about books that you have not read just because other people are speaking about them. I don't want to know about those people. I want to know what you know about your book. Because do you know that the woman that I watched that was on there, first of all, did I bring this up yesterday? Her head was not covered. First Corinthians,
you didn't say
First Corinthians says a woman of the believers must have her head covered. And if it's not covered, she should shave her head. Now, y'all go look that one up. Okay, so before you get people who get out here, and she basically said when she is raptured, that she'll beg Jesus to come back down and save us, to come get us. Sweetheart, people like me are looking at you like, one, what made you the one that they chose? If you've read that book, you know it's not easy to get into heaven.
I just want to say, sis, them eyebrows is giving, honey. With the facial expression ain't giving, and she got the blue. Y'all better listen.
I'm not trying to save you, and I'm not trying to send you to heaven. I'm trying to help you have a better life here on earth.
Supposed to make your heaven here on earth anyway.
Make it wherever you want to. Make it in your bedroom. I don't care. But there are things that can be changed in this life. And I'm not trying to make fun of these people. What I'm trying to tell you is that the people who are going to watch us know that we're going to give them information. We're going to give them a little bit of friendship. We're going to give them family. We're going to give them community. We're going to give you information to help yourself.
Yes, we are. We definitely are.
And I'm going to tell you to go read.
I recommend y'all at least read 30 minutes to an hour a day.
Start out, look, I'm going to start you out slow, because I know how it was when I was a reader. Start with 5 to 10 minutes for as long as you can keep your mind on the page, because my mind used to jump off the page. Slow, start out slow. And if you know 30 minutes to an hour is not, because that's like meditation, okay? Start out with one page. But what I will tell you is it is very important to read, and
it is
understanding of what you're reading, because a lot of the new materials that are coming out now.
We were talking about this too yesterday.
We literally show how much dumber we have gotten over the years versus smarter. And I say that because the first humans that came here were very smart. They had to have been.
Yes.
They had to have been. They had to come in with some type of intellectual knowledge to be able to navigate a world, to be able to form language, to be able to form First of all, to be able to draw in the caves, you had to use light, figure out how to get some. You had to get a pen, paper. They didn't even have that. So think about how much further they had to progress in such a little bit of time, and how we have digressed over the years, letting other men tell us how to navigate our lives. That's why all the houses look the same. That's why we fall onto the news for the weather report, and the weatherman is 90% wrong.
Just step aside for yourself.
You see what I'm saying?
Since I literally seen a news captain put out the news, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, looking outside. I'm like, yeah, no, this ain't it. Why did my phone adjust itself to the actual weather?
I can tell you exactly when it's going to rain, when my knees start to hurt.
I can smell it.
So, look, everything that we need is within us. Do we need community? Yes,
Yes,
we
we
need
do.
we need community to spark the insight, okay? But outside of that, your community does not need to do all the work for you, and then you think you're going to benefit off of it. That's why we have society. That's why society is complaining about the way they're living now, because
so comfortable.
they looked for one person with a whole group of people behind them, which came from the Greeks and the Romans. Okay, that's where our government system and all of that came from, the Greeks and the Romans. If you look and you see Greek and Roman, and Greeks took from Egypt and Africa, and that's how we got all this here now. And whatever they decided we didn't need, they got rid of. The problem is that in the West, they got rid of it. In the East, they kept it. So that's why their knowledge, although materialistic, their countries may not have all the materials that we think, but a lot of those countries are well maintained.
They are, and they don't have as much stuff that we do. They were very content with living the way that they are. They're very within nature and everything. How they live is very...
Look up the word material and get a number off of it. And then after you do that, get a positive and a negative of it. Materials don't leave this planet. They're made of this planet by man for us to be able to use.
It's only to elevate you.
But it's not your riches. Because you can have all the materials in the world and somebody walk in your house and be like, this is the ugliest thing I ever seen.
It's true.
Okay. All the money in the world, yes, it makes you abundant in a lot of paper. And if we came together as the larger masses of a community, we could tip the scales. But we sit up, we talk to our friends, and we complain, girl, you know what? This man on TV is doing this and this and this and this and that and the other, and he can't get his hair right, and he don't look good. Why this man is still up here? Instead of saying, you know what? I like what he's doing. You want to know why? Because I get to see how many of y'all are controlled by what he does.
Come on now.
If your life is falling apart because of one person making decisions on that TV, I really do feel sorry for you. And I'm going to ask Spirit, God, Creator, whatever it is that I'm going to ask him to dump a whole bunch of knowledge onto your head. You figure out what to do with it.
I would just say, because I don't want to say I feel sorry. I'm going to be honest, I'm not feeling anything at the moment, but I do encourage you to fill your mind with knowledge for yourself. Once that happened, all those individuals who went through that now you have a fresh start. Are you going to continue to believe in this? Or are you going to do for self now? Are you going to get your keys back? Or are you going to still let them hold on to your keys?
Don't cry about this situation. The situation was an eye-opener. It was an eye-opener not only for you all, but for people like me who used to be in that area. You see what I'm saying? And knowing that that could have been me because I was bound to that book. But I can say this, it could have been me, but it wouldn't have been me because one day I decided that this book needs to be read.
Come on now.
And I didn't dissect it. There was no, oh, I'm only going to read the Old Testament. Oh, I'm only going to read the New Testament. I read the whole book. And I understood what I needed to understand out of it. Now, will I read the whole book again? Who knows? I really don't read books more than once. Once I've read a whole book, I'm not going to read it again. But there's a lot in those books that people don't understand.
That's true, sis. Do you feel it's the metaphor that's in the book? It's definitely the metaphor because it's you gotta like read between the lines almost sometimes.
You really don't. All you have to do is read the book for what it is.
Well, what I'm saying is some people don't know how to, sis.
From front to back, one word at a time. I'm not lying. That's how you read any book, from front to back, one word at a time. If something trips you up, get the word, get an understanding of the word, and move on. Because it only takes you to read something once to say, okay, it says right here that there is no specific date or time. You could have been taken out of your sleep. You could have been in the shower. We don't know. But for somebody to come out with a specific date when the book actually says that there is no specific date and time, then I really don't understand what you all was sitting around for 2 days giving your stuff away for. If he would have told you where to find that actual line, you could have went and read it for yourself. But because you are told not to question, you didn't question. But just because you're told not to question doesn't mean that the question didn't rise itself up here. And all you had to do was say, you know what, I just need to go to my book and read it.
And it's okay to break away. If they get angry, that's on them.
What you breaking away from?
Do it for self. The religions just, I'm saying for them, how they go out and get the information. Pastor might feel some type of ways. Who gives a F what pastor feel? You're doing this for you.
Find you a new church. People do it all the time. People move from church
You
to
are
church
the
to church to
church.
church. If you feel that this is a religion or an understanding that you want to follow, this is what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to leave your belief. What I'm telling you to do is pick up your book and read it and get the knowledge for self. That's it. That's all. That way you won't be misled. And if you are misled, it's by your own understanding because that's what you wanted versus being misled because you have the lack of knowledge. There's two different ways.
Phrase that really well.
I'm not saying that our way is 100% right. I'm not saying that any of your religious aspects are 100% wrong. I'm saying there's a 50-50 chance for everybody in all of it. Okay, it's all in who you are, what knowledge you have, and what wisdom you learn from it. Okay, so if that's what you want, then that's what you get. But what I'm saying is words hold energy. That's all words. That's the words in everywhere, not just specific words. It's all words. They hold energy. And the wisdom and the knowledge behind each one of those words is very important for you to go get.
Okay.
So read lots all the time. I don't care if it's boring. Read one word at a time.
Like sis said, what, 5 to 10 minutes? That's all you gotta do.
That's it.
I done got where I love to read and I will lose myself in the book. And so I find myself reading past 30 minutes and I'm like, damn, this is a good book. Then there was books where I was like, oh, I can't get jiggy with this. I done fell asleep. So not every book is gonna be for you, but still, find something that you're interested in.
Yeah,
reading.
Start there.
Start there.
I started with Eric Jerome Dickey books. I started there. I started reading those. And as I started to read those, one book made me crave another book, made me crave another book, made me crave another book. And next thing I know, my vocabulary was getting longer. My word understanding and comprehension was getting better just by reading books that had nothing to do with who I am.
I can hear people now. So I can read a Mr. Zane book.
Why not?
It's a book.
Oh, Zane's a female though.
Some titles have Mr. Zane.
It does?
I saw one with Mr. Zane.
Oh, wow. It might be another author. Hey,
it could be, but
read whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you what you can and what you can't read. When your intellect reaches a certain area, you'll stop reading certain things and start reading others. I didn't start out reading autobiographies and reading stuff on knowledge and wisdom. I started out reading Black books that looked like what I thought life was supposed to look like, or looked like what life around me looked like, or somebody, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I started out reading Eric Jerome Dickey and I elevated from there. Have I read Zane? Yes, I've read Zane. Okay. Did I read, have I read Sister Soldier? Yes, I've read Sister Soldier.
Yes, she does.
Okay. Have I read Octavia E. Butler? Yes, I've read Octavia E. Butler books. Matter of fact, I'm still trying to get my hands on a couple of them because she has amazing scientific books.
And Maya Angelou, all of them.
I've read Sherilyn Kenyon. I like her books. I started out with Acheron. I love that book, bought it twice. It does have some warnings in there, some trigger warnings and this and that and other. But when you get to my level, it's not much that's going to trigger you. It's life. And we keep acting like life don't happen.
It does. Life is life right now.
Life is an experience.
Yes.
Take the good for the good and the bad for the bad and keep it moving. Stop trying to force.
Yes. And stop moving so fast. Stop moving so quick. Slow yourself down.
Well, I drive fast, so.
Well, that's different, sis. I'm talking about you for
There's a
self.
book
Slow down so you
called
can get that.
Force and Power. I had the book.
Who's this by?
Let me find it.
Because once you start reading and finding what you are interested in, you have your own library. I have like a library now, and I need a whole bookshelf. All my books consist of chakras, astrology, numerology, ancient Kemet. I only have one Bible, and it was given to me by my great grandmother. It's the Old Testament, big black Bible that you probably seen it in the movie Color Purple. I still have that book. I got many books on, psychic protection, magic, altars, all the occult stuff. That's what I'm interested in. Find what you're interested in and start there. And we was going to ask you guys some questions. Anyway, this is the first question. I'm going to ask you, what piques your interest, and whatever that interest is, what book can you find to start reading? Think about that. You found it, sis?
Yes.
There it is. Oh, it's black
It's
and white.
called by David. It's by David Hawkins. I bought this book.
Okay.
I bought this book.
Power and Forces. I like that. Share that with me.
Power versus Force.
I should have add that to my library.
That was a book that I purchased, not understanding at all
The book.
what I was purchasing.
Okay.
So I'm a person that buys books because the front of them look good or the back of them tells me something I like. But these are books that were before this understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And like I read books on brain understanding, and I wasn't even trying to be a neurologist. I had two daughters, well, one at the time who was experiencing epilepsy or seizure disorders. And then I had another daughter who started having seizures as well. And I wanted to know, the different understanding.
Yes.
Now, when I was growing up, they said if you hit yourself upside the head, the brain cells died and they never came back. When I got older, I seemed to find out that the brain does whatever you want your brain to do. The brain actually changes. The brain gets rid of all kinds of ailments in the body because it's the brain that causes them. It's you who tells the brain to actually put these different things in your body. By you believing that because your mom has something, you're going to have it, you're going to get it. And by me believing that because my mom has something, that's the reason why I'm not going to get it, is the reason why I'll never have the problems that my mom has.
Shay, mind is a powerful thing.
It is.
Mind is a powerful thing.
We need to utilize it for what it's for. Go out and discover your own information. Go out and discover who you are versus people telling you who you are, because people will manipulate you to make themselves look good, for them to make a come up.
Yeah.
For them to make a little bit of money. So word energy is very important. And from word energy, let's go ahead and get you into a book and start expanding your mind.
Now, what question did you want to give them if you had? Because we were talking about giving them questions. So I gave them one question.
What was your question?
My question is for them to find what piques their interest, and what book would they be able to find that piques that interest so they can get.
I don't really have a question. I'm just going to tell you to do what Sis said, because my thing is that the more wisdom and knowledge that each one of us brings within, the more that we expand ourselves and grow, the easier we make it for the children that are coming into this world to have the things that they want without having to go through some of the things that we had to go through. Okay. History needs to change.
Yes.
Tell a different story.
Tell your story, not his story, yours.
Yes.
What is your story? That's another question. What's your story?
Help your kids build their own story in their own light, not in your light. And that's all I have for you.
You are the guide for your children. So allow them to be the little guides for themselves and tap into who they are and their purpose. Just be there to guide them along the way. Thank you for joining us, though, family. We had some laughs and stuff like that, but we love to do this. We're still learning and growing as well, too. So get to reading so we can have a chat.
Yes.
Okay, we want to talk to y'all. We want to talk to y'all. Get down in the comments. Start typing some stuff. If we got some stuff wrong or you got another perspective, let's talk about it.
If there's something that you want us to give our perspective on, we'd like to hear from you.
About it. Let's talk about it. And until then, family, thank you so much. Find your light and fix your found, family. Peace.
Find the you within and create your own reality.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more conscious talk.
Your own reality.
You have to edit that out.
Why?
Because I like to say it at the end and close out. That's why.
Yeah. I have one too. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you already said it. So I'm gonna just edit this part out, sis. And we're gonna end it on your
peace.